Now I'm going to show you how to dry pluck a pheasant and how to do a good job of it. Some people wet pluck them, which means plunging them into hot water at about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, no hotter, and swishing them about to loosen the feathers. Now the only feathers that it really loosens are the ones that are already easy to pluck. The difficult ones remain difficult and the skin still tears. Now when you pluck a pheasant, the only places where you're going to have any problems are these two bands of fat up the breasts and these two pieces of fat on the thighs. The rest of the feathers are relatively easy. The neck can be a bit challenging, and so can the last few feathers on the back. Here we are, number 2. Let's see how we go. So I'll just start on the neck here, 1 or 2 feathers at a time. I always think the hens are more easy to pluck than the cocks, and I actually think the best day to pluck a pheasant is the 4th day after it was shot. So, shot on Saturday should be plucked on Wednesday. And of course they need keeping cold while they're hanging up. So we just work around the neck and 1 or 2 or 3 feathers at once, not too many or you're going to tear. You soon learn which feathers you can take liberties with and which ones you can't. I like to go all around the neck like that. It just gives you a really good place to start from. So then we work up the breast. Again, a couple of feathers at a time. Working our way up those breast bands. You might as well start to do the more difficult feathers first, because there's no point in doing all the easy bits and then finding you've got a pheasant that just will not pluck. And there are some out there. One side. Just remembering just a couple of feathers at once, because we don't want to tear it. It's easy to pluck a pheasant quickly and tear loads of holes in the skin, and the skin is the bit that keeps the flesh nice and moist while it's being cooked. Well, that's the important bit nearly done. Just clear the rest of the feathers off the breast there. You take those out by a good number at a time. Fine roasting bird. Next difficult bits are the thighs. Again, just a couple of feathers at once until we've cleared those thighs of feather. Thigh. There we go. Now the rest of the feathers come out easily with no problems. So we'll go straight up the back. a little bit more care with these last few feathers on the back. Just getting towards the tail. Now somebody's dog's had a hold of this bird. Now put the wings down to the first joint. And we'll cut through that little web of skin to the elbow. Just twist the wing, cut it off. Same again on this wing. Legs, feathers just come straight off the legs. There we are, that's one pheasant rough plucked. There we are, job done with no tearing in 10.5 minutes. Right, on this bird, which isn't worth plucking because the dog's had it, I'm just going to show you how to deal with the tails on the ones that you do pluck. There's no need to pull all these tail feathers out. You go into the parson's nose from both sides with the knife just till you feel the spine, and then you can literally twist it off. There we are. No need to pull all those feathers out. Same with the wings. There's no need to start plucking flight feathers out because there are no flight feathers in the first joint. Just pluck it there, slice it through to the elbow joint, twist the joint, then get your knife in and cut the thing off. Quick and easy. Now some people chop the wings off before they start. Chop them off with a cleaver or a butcher knife. But if you do that, you're going to end up cutting yourself on the sharp piece of bone that sticks out. Really quick and easy to breast a pheasant. We're not going to pluck this one. Just make a little nick in the skin at the end of the breastbone, and you can pull all the skin off just like taking a glove off. Lovely. Skin the whole thing if you want to. Spread the legs apart. Take the skin off the legs. Just like that. Now, if you just nip the skin at the end of the breastbone, like that, you can pull the whole thing forward . Then just release the breast, still on its bone, from the bird. It cooks so much better on the bone. Beautiful pheasant breast, ready to cook. If you want to bone it, you can do. Then the legs, just release them from the body and twist off the hip joint. Now, a lot of people don't bother with the legs, but there is an awful lot of meat on them, and if you remove that little bit of fat there, they taste so much better. Pull that fat off as well. We've already removed the sinews from the leg, so that will make a tasty dish. Now, just like turkeys, pheasants have a lot of sinews in the legs, which make the legs rather unpalatable. Some people don't even bother eating them, but they're very easy to remove. If you go very carefully around the skin, around the hock joint, do a little cut in the back, that way, and then wind the foot around the hock, you can loosen and pull all those sinews out. Now, all those would have been in my dinner. And again, down the leg, one way and the other way. Just wind the things out. There we are. Now that makes your pheasant leg a lot better to eat. However, if the legs are broken like that, you can't do it that ways, but you can stand on the foot and pull the pheasant upwards. There we are. All those sinews out. And again, that's the other way. There we are, they're the sinews we've just pulled out of that leg. And the other method of drying the sinews is to stick a meat hook between the two bones in the leg. Again, either break the leg or cut through it at the hock and pull it from the ceiling. 2 jerks being better than a big heavy pull, because the first one loosens them and the second one draws them out. I'm just going to show you how to prepare a pheasant for the oven. Lots of videos out there, but very few show you how to do it properly. First of all, cut around the neck. And put the knife in and cut up the back as far as you like. Then pull the neck backwards. On a pheasant, we'll leave the neck a little bit long. I'll show you why later. In there are 2 things to get rid of. One is the windpipe. Just pull it out. And the other is the crop. When the birds have been feeding, then there's actually corn in the crop. They're easier to find and to separate from the skin than when the poor things are hungry. Anyway, there it is. Loosen it. Separate it from everything around and give it a little tug. It just loosens everything that's in there. Chop it off. We go to the other end. Now, the chefs on TV always say something fairly vague about making a hole somewhere around here. There is only one place to make the hole, and that is at the top of the parson's nose. You put your knife in and you cut parallel to the spine and underneath the guts. Then you cut around the vent carefully, not rupturing the intestines. Separate it and loosen it just a little bit. Then you put your two thumbs in, and there are two bones to break away, the pelvic bones. They stick up like two fingers. Then you get your finger in and you loosen everything. And you should be able to pull it out in a one. There, the whole lot just comes out. Sometimes you leave the heart behind. There's the heart. Now, if you want to use your giblets, trim the end off the heart, bits of liver there, and inside that lot is the gizzard. It has a muscle on either end of it. On a chicken you can peel them, but on a pheasant you just cut the two muscles off. Let's try that. Let's trim that off. That is all there is to it. Then we take the legs and push them forwards. Take a piece of butcher's string, goes under the hocks in a kind of a figure of 8, and we take round, and you can trap that string just underneath the piece of neck that you left along. If you were doing a chicken, you would have plucked the wings and would trap it under the wings, so you wouldn't have cut your neck short. Then butcher's knot. Cut that off. Now, if you're particularly fastidious and don't like hairy things coming out of the oven, or the queen's coming for tea or something, you singe these hairs off. Traditionally a piece of brown paper set on fire, but I've got a blow on, so I'm going to use it. And there we are, one oven ready pheasant. Nicely prepared, no torn skin.